the past few months, a number of you have asked me, what in the world can happen to the Green Ghost? Well, here he is. He's still here, okay? Now, I've been reluctant to pursue repairing this car. I know I put up a video where I said, you know, I don't think I'm going to fix this, and it really made a number of people upset, like, how could you do that? Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of work involved here. If you consider the work that needs to be done on the Green Ghost, granted it has potential, and it is repairable, everything is fixable. But if you look at what my White Ghost looks like and how nice it is, and if you knew how much I paid for it, and I consider the cost of repairing this car with that damage you see right there, I'd have more into the Green Ghost than I've got into the White Ghost in money, let alone all the labor and effort. Now, I know some of you are not real familiar with bodywork, will say no big problem, can't just, you know, pound that out and put filler on it. Well, it goes way beyond that. If you haven't seen the series, let me show you the video when we picked the car up. That was a rather severe hit. Fortunately, hit above the frame area where the front bumper mounts, but it did crumple that whole inner fender panel. Now, we beat that out. You know, we beat it out with a hammer. We're not trying to make it look pretty. We just wanted to drive the car, so we had to get it away from the tire. But when you look inside and you see how crumpled, there's no way I can fix that just by hammering and filling. I've got to literally find another car and cut that whole inner fender panel out. First I have to remove the good fender, weld that in, and then mount the new fender and fit it properly. And we've got to get all the alignment right on the headlight. So I'm going to have to come across to probably the center of the core support with my cut and re-welding. So in order to do that, I've got to find a very nice rust-free W116 sedan. Now, I would like to find another 300 SD because I could use a lot of the diesel parts for this car, but it wouldn't have to be because I'm just looking at that fender right there, that right front fender and that whole inner fender panel that I'll have to cut out and along coming across the core support over to the side for the headlight and the, you know, the eyebrow mount for the front bumper. So you can see this is not as easy as it may appear unless you've done this type of work. Now, after bringing home Casper, the White Ghost, it's kind of inspired me to pursue maybe fixing this car. You know, Casper needs a brother. But one of the things that really intrigues me, in fact, I really like it, it's grown on me, is the interior. I know this green interior I think is absolutely gorgeous. It is so unique. You sit in there and you think, wow, this takes you back in time. Now, I've had a number of people say, oh, that's really ugly, Kent. In fact, I put a recent post up on Facebook, and it was probably a 50-50 mix on who liked this interior and who didn't like it. Some people really didn't like it as they expressed their displeasure in this particular color. Now, along that back quarter, I've got more body damage that needs to be repaired. You know, I've got a cracked, broken windshield. I sold a grill shell to somebody, so I'm gonna have to find another grill shell and some headlight assemblies. So you can see if I can find the right car, if I can find a really nice car for a reasonable price, because I can't spend $3,000 or $4,000 for a parts car to fix this car, and then I'm really going backwards. So if any of you know of one, now it has to be in the Pacific Northwest. I'm not going to bother going cross country or having something trucked in, let's say Portland North. If you know of a W116 that fits this bill, number one, it has to be rust-free. I don't want to bring home a rusty car and have to be pulling a fender off and dealing with rust on the underneath and in the quarter rocker panels and so on. So it has to be rust-free, has to be very clean, preferably original paint, because I don't want to have surprises when I pull the parts. And in closing, the other thing that's a lot of fun when doing this type of repair, have any of you pulled a front fender off a W116? Have any of you actually removed the bolts and taken a fender off to put on another car? I want you to chime in on this video and share with me what you think about that particular job. And stay tuned. Now, if you see an upcoming part on the Green Ghost, it may mean that I'm getting closer to making the decision to actually fix this car here. I know I have to end this video with a disclaimer because some of you will say, well, come on, you could beat this out a little bit, put some Bondo in there, get the lights in and get them lined up, and this would be fine for driving, and that's true, okay? I have to admit, you wouldn't have to go to the extremes I'm talking about just to make it a legal driver. But in my case, sorry, I think I'd have a hard time driving it in that condition. So if I'm going to fix it, my choice is to fix it right.